Welcome back to CryptoPulse, your trusted source for clear and unbiased crypto insights. Today we're looking at a project that's gaining serious attention in 2025: Ondo Finance, Ondo, a real-world asset, RWA platform that's bridging the gap between traditional finance and DeFi. We'll break down what Ondo actually does, why institutions are backing it, how it stacks up against competitors, and what this means for Ondo's future in the crypto market. Quick disclosure, I do not currently own any Ondo tokens. This video is for educational purposes only, not financial advice. Launched in 2021 and gaining serious momentum in 2024 and 2025, Ondo Finance is one of the leading platforms bringing real-world assets, like US Treasuries, corporate bonds, and money market funds, onto the blockchain. Unlike many DeFi platforms focused on crypto-native tokens, Ondo is designed for institutional-grade investors, offering tokenized exposure to traditional assets. USDY, a token backed by short-term US Treasuries and bank deposits, providing yield directly on-chain. And it doesn't stop there. Ondo has also launched OUSG, tokenized BlackRock fund exposure, Flux Finance, a decentralized lending protocol integrated with RWAs and bridges to Ethereum, Solana, and other L1/L2s for broader access. Ondo is essentially building the infrastructure layer for tokenized securities, a key part of the next evolution of finance. So why is Ondo Finance suddenly getting so much attention, especially from Wall Street and major funds? The answer is simple. Tokenization of real-world assets is going mainstream. In 2024, we saw major moves. BlackRock launched its own tokenized fund on Ethereum. Franklin Templeton, WisdomTree, and JP Morgan began experimenting with on-chain bonds and money market products. And guess who's powering part of that infrastructure? Ondo. Ondo is one of the first movers in delivering fully compliant, yield-generating assets, on-chain liquidity with institutional safeguards, a bridge between regulated finance and DeFi protocols. Their USDY token allows qualified investors to earn real US Treasury yield while interacting with smart contracts. That's a huge unlock. Plus, projects like Flux Finance, built by Ondo Labs, allow these tokenized RWAs to be used as collateral, just like ETH or USDC. The big picture? Ondo is positioning itself as the BlackRock of crypto, and institutions are watching closely. The real-world asset space is heating up fast, and while Ondo is a clear leader, it's far from alone. Let's compare. 1. Centrifuge, CFG. Focuses on tokenizing private credit, supply chain finance, and receivables. Strong on compliance and enterprise partnerships, but lacks the institutional polish and liquidity that Ondo is bringing with its treasury-backed products. MakerDAO and RWA vaults integrate real-world assets like treasuries to back DII. It's more of a DeFi-first approach, but not as modular or productized as Ondo. MakerDAO still faces scaling limits and governance complexity. Maple Finance, Goldfinch, and Clearpool offer institutional lending and credit markets, but they're less about tokenized securities and more about on-chain debt markets. Ondo's edge, institutional-grade branding and infrastructure, partnerships that mirror traditional finance expectations, native products like USDY and OUSG that are already in demand, real-time integrations with DeFi protocols, bridging compliance and yield. In short, Ondo combines the polish of Wall Street with the flexibility of crypto, and that's exactly what investors, both retail and institutional, are looking for in this next phase of the market. In 2025, Ondo isn't just a niche token. It's rapidly becoming a core narrative in the tokenization and RWA space. Let's look at some recent developments fueling its momentum. TVL has surged as more DeFi protocols integrate USDY and OUSG. Bridge integrations across Ethereum, Solana, and Layer 2s are expanding access. Major crypto funds are accumulating Ondo as a long-term bet on RWAs. Retail adoption is rising thanks to CEX listings and growing brand recognition. And then there's the macro tailwind. As interest rates stabilize, tokenized treasuries are becoming one of the safest yield options in all of crypto, and Ondo is the most visible player delivering that yield on-chain. Ondo token use cases, governance over the protocol, and potentially flux finance. Future revenue sharing or staking mechanics, TBD. Brand exposure in the RWA narrative, similar to Lido in liquid staking. Alright, let's dive into the bullish case for Ondo. First up, it becomes the default RWA token for compliant high-yield on-chain assets. Imagine institutions and DAOs both adopting USDY and OUSG as base layer collateral. This would be huge. Now, as TVL, liquidity, and integrations keep growing, Ondo gains network effect value. It's important to note, Ondo isn't trying to be another DeFi meme token. No, it's aiming to be the BlackRock of tokenized finance, the infrastructure layer powering RWAs across chains. Let's be honest, every opportunity comes with risk, and Ondo is no exception. Key risks to watch: regulatory uncertainty. Despite being positioned as compliant, the RWA space is still under close watch. Ondo's reliance on securitized assets could bring SEC scrutiny if token offerings blur legal lines. Adoption bottlenecks. Institutional adoption takes time and trust. If banks or funds pull back from tokenization due to regulation or macro shifts, Ondo could stall. Smart contract and custodial risk. Although Ondo partners with regulated custodians, any smart contract exploits or mismanagement could shake investor confidence. Competition. The RWA space is getting crowded. If MakerDAO, Centrifuge, or TradFi-backed solutions scale faster, Ondo may lose mindshare. Now, the part you've been waiting for, Ondo price outlook. Let's look at three scenarios. Base case, 80 cents to $1.20. Continued adoption, solid ecosystem growth, but no massive breakout. Ondo becomes a key RWA player but doesn't dominate. Bull case, $2 to $3. Ondo emerges as the go-to RWA token. TVL explodes, products like USDY to OUSG go mainstream, and it gains institutional backing. Extreme scenario, $5 plus. Tokenized treasuries become the new DeFi collateral standard, and Ondo captures a huge chunk of global yield flow. Remember, with approximately 10 billion tokens and a market cap under $2 billion today, it wouldn't take insane capital to push Ondo into a top 30 coin, especially if institutions keep pouring in. So, is Ondo Finance the future of real-world assets on-chain? It has the partners, the vision, and the traction, and with RWAs being one of crypto's biggest narratives in 2025, Ondo is a project worth watching. Let us know in the comments. Do you think Ondo can lead the RWA revolution? And don't forget, like this video, subscribe for more deep dives, share with anyone bullish on RWA, DeFi, or the next wave of institutional crypto adoption. This is CryptoPulse. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.